we'll start out with the need for the signatures.
I'm sorry. When was the agenda sent? Oh, never mind. I got it.
Okay.
I'm going to post it in the chat so that way everybody can pull it up.
Oh,
Yeah,
great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Except for your boss, and she's got it right here on good old hard copy. So we'll start out with that letter to Tradeport Atlantic. What do you want to do with that, Chris?
Well, you know, the letter's set to go, but it's hard to get signatures given the situation we're in. What do we do?
Well, do you want to just sign it? I can sign it as the chair of the delegation, and the delegation is all on board.
Fine. Well, that's what we'll do. I'll revise the letter very slightly to say you're signing on behalf of the entire delegation.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate
Have my staff walk it down to your office. When you get in, you can just sign it and send it along.
Okay. All right. So that's out of the way. We got to get that moving.
Really?
The state fairgrounds resolution, we all agreed on that, correct?
Yes, I think so. And I just presented the bill yesterday. So could I get a delegation letter saying we support the bill? The bill does nothing more than say if they issue licenses for sports gambling, the state fairgrounds gets one.
Okay. Okay.
Senator West.
You need a letter from my office.
Yes, right. As the
Okay.
head of the delegation.
To clarify,
Evan,
is that the
do you hear that,
amendment?
Evan?
Is that the amendment that was offered, or is that just the bill?
That's the amendment. Yeah, the bill as amended, we support.
It just basically says we want it at the state fairgrounds.
That's all it says. If the license
Okay.
is granted, the state fairgrounds gets a license.
Okay. Now, the held over bills, Senate Bill 38, the Baltimore County Liquor Board Commissioners.
I talked to JB, who's not with us. JB says he's fine with it. He thought the bill said something different. He said he thought the bill said that if you have a liquor license in Baltimore County, you have to live in Baltimore County, which is not what the bill says. All the bill says is a liquor license commissioner of Baltimore County has to live in the county.
And that's the same in every county.
All the other counties in Central Maryland have the same rule. Baltimore City,
Okay.
Baltimore County, Carroll County, et cetera.
Okay, well, can I have a motion?
I moved.
Second? Johnny?
Second.
Okay. All those in favor, raise your hand. Okay, we're good. That's out of the way. Now, how about the Catonsville Courthouse? Senator Sidnor, you had some questions about that?
Right. And what when the good senator and I corresponded, I suggested one amendment that maybe you consider doing so with the district courthouse in Towson.
Yeah, and I've been so busy in the last day, Charles, I haven't had a chance, but I think it's a decent idea. Let me run it by Dana Williams, who's the widower of Judge Williams, as well as the County Bar Association, and see if they have a problem with it. The county,
And I think we need to, and I need to touch base with the county exec one way or the other to.
If I could say one thing.
Yes, you can.
When this was first proposed to be there, that site was a part of the tent. I had to work like hell against, I'll be honest, most people who were Caucasians in the area, they didn't want a courthouse there. And we worked really, really, really hard and around a lot of crap for 3-4 years to get it there. And off the campus at UMC, which wasn't adequate, and where they had people lined up and shackled because it was right adjacent to the school, trying to get them in and out of the facility they had there. And I just think that, to be honest, in this case, the minority community was the community on the west side that really pushed to get it there. And I think it wouldn't be right now, if you know the history of what went on, to turn around and to bring in a person who's not been a part of the issue or did nothing to help to have the courthouse built and at that site.
Dolores, that makes every bit of sense. Let me run the flag up the flagpole. about the Towson Courthouse, which doesn't have currently a name.
Right.
My guess is that the Judge Williams, who was the administrative judge, worked out of Towson. So it would be logical that the Towson Court.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mhm.
I'll check that
Okay,
out.
so Chris, you're gonna do that.
Yep.
Okay, and we have 2 bills today, and since this is Baltimore County delegation, I'm just asking to get these bills in, and I know Senator Sidnor, you did, we're gonna try to, because it's virtual, if it wasn't virtual, would be okay, because I could just say, hey, Chuck, we're here in Baltimore County bills, and he would walk on over. But since it's this complicated kind of gizmo that Evan has to set it all up and get a hold of people and everything else, if we could just get our bills in 2 days ahead of time, that's all. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yeah, I have a question because I have a bill too that I need to, not today, obviously, but is this the time we're going to try and meet every week?
Is this good for everybody?
Do we have to meet every week?
No, we don't have to meet every week, but I mean,
Could we
If-
do every other week? Because I mean, it's tough right
Yeah.
now.
yeah, and Dolores, I understand that. That's why I just keep you in the know, because I know you have tons of stuff to do as a chairman and all, so.
I have the collective bargaining bill for the Baltimore County Public Libraries coming up. So I would like this group to look at that.
Yes, and see.
We're not ready
at that
today,
point-
obviously.
At that point, that's why I said I would like just to hear what the county has to say about it, so, and he has a whole package of bills that
Yep.
we haven't heard yet, so we have to get together, so.
Could be
Madam
fine-
Chair,
could be fine a late afternoon. Most committees are done, and just get all of the Baltimore County bills and take a good look.
The only problem I would say with that is 3 of us are on JPR, which tends to go well into the night.
Long.
Hey,
Long.
and thanks to my chairman, we don't do that. Thank you. Yeah.
Could we do something on Mondays before most things get started?
That's a good idea.
That's a great idea.
Well,
Because right now, I know executive norms will be, but that's not till 5. Maybe if we did something around 1 o'clock or so we stay out of the way of anything else they might add on down here.
yeah, but we don't have to do it every week.
Okay.
It just seems like in the beginning, obviously, we have more. We can kind of front load
Sure.
things maybe, because
Sure.
you're right. We don't have anything yet from the county exec's priority list.
the one thing that I wasn't clear on is if we were to have witnesses and was how to include them in the testimony. I know-
Okay,
point.
Evan,
No, I'm here.
okay, what do you want to do about witnesses?
I think probably the best thing to do would to send me their names and emails, so that way I can get them the Zoom link.
I got you.
Okay, did everybody hear that?
Okay, so make sure we know how to get, how to reach Evan.
Right,
Yeah,
can you,
And then one of the last emails that was sent out has my cell phone number in it. So if anybody has any questions, you can call me, text me anytime.
Well,
I'd
is it
appreciate
your
if you could
email or
send-
mine? Evan?
Just the main account. So the Catherine.Klostermeyer, that all goes to me.
so they don't have to go through the MGA website or anything like that?
No,
Register?
if you have witnesses, that can all go straight to me.
Okay, wonderful.
Okay, so Evan will send that all out to everybody, so we all have that, and just try to get your bills in 48 hours ahead of time, so I can alert the county if they need to speak or whatever.
The only issue is 48 hours ahead of what, right? Because we don't know when the next meeting will be.
Well, no, I like to let you know ahead of time when the meetings are, but, so.
Okay, it would be great. I know, because we're just all slammed. Can we pick a date and time before we end this meeting? For our next meeting? Would that be possible? Just so we know what that 48 hours is and can tell our witnesses and get you the bill.
Yeah, maybe. It is so complicated with the Zooming.
And a lot of bills still don't have their fiscal, I mean, a lot of stuff isn't up.
All right,
Right.
how about I say in 2
What
weeks?
about
we'll
if we
have-
said Friday after next at this time? By then, by that, what, Tuesday or Wednesday, people should be giving you the information and that they need to be on the agenda.
So Friday, February 5th?
And maybe
Friday.
more stuff will be out and straight.
Wait a minute, that's this coming Friday. Okay.
No, February
I'm saying
5th.
to send stuff.
Oh, it is, isn't it? This is February 2nd, isn't it?
Yeah, but
No,
I'm
no, no,
saying-
no,
it's
it's the 27th.
Oh.
The 27th of January,
I know time's flying, but not that.
but not in February yet.
I thought yesterday, oh my God. I am a
No.
mess. Okay, so the February the 5th in the morning. But that's
Sure.
always subject to change because I had everything set up for today as and everything changed as of 11 o'clock last
Well,
night.
well, to be honest, it might make sense to make it the next week because you need in that interim back and forth to get in from members, whatever they have, and to make the
Yeah,
arrangements.
so, well, it'll be on the 5th then, right now. As of right now, it'll be the 5th. You have that, Evan?
At what time? At 9?
Can we make it
Well,
9
it'd have to
a.m.
be
so that
9
way
again.
you just,
9 a.m.
Dolores, the 5th is a week from Friday.
Okay,
It is next week.
okay.
It's
but I
not
was
this, it's
suggesting
not
that we
this
just-
Friday.
There's so much stuff in the system not yet.
Okay,
And
so,
just for the record, I want to make certain that everyone's aware that Fridays at 9 Baltimore City, they have their delegation meetings.
oh,
Oh,
But if I can try to figure out a way of
well,
dealing.
you need 2 computers. And you can be on.
Yeah,
both.
I'll try. I'll figure something out.
Well, if we're doing it virtually, could we start at 8:30? And then if he had to drop off because he's in.
Yeah.
communications.
That's fine. Why don't we do that?
8:30 would work
Yeah,
better. for
8:30,
me. I also
8:30.
have a conflict with Howard County at 9.
oh,
Okay.
so
Okay.
then
I'm
that's
on
not
2
good.
Zooms
If we're
right now at the
missing
same
2 of
time.
you.
So
No, we'll do it at 8:30.
Okay.
8:30 is fine with me.
I mean, like I have 9:30, I have another meeting, so today, so, but we can get through these bills unless it's,
Okay, so 8:30, is that what we're saying?
yes,
8:30 on the 5th. Great. Thank you.
okay, all right. All right, so Senator Sidnor, I'm gonna take yours first.
All right.
Unless
Which bill-
you want
which bill
to
is
hold
this?
off and have a witness.
Well, you know what? I believe there was written testimony that I think was emailed this morning. It was in last night. So it's 2 pieces of written testimony. We had oral testimony before EHE last week. But I'm fine with moving ahead. The bill is somewhat familiar. It was introduced last year, but modified. So what this bill does, if you all recall, last year, the Senate Bill 150.
Charles, what is this year's bill number?
150.
150, okay.
Right. So last year, bill was I introduced a bill that to address one of the situations that had come up during the election, where we had a challenger received the majority of votes, but because of the way statute was, she was not placed, and the board chair at that time held over and continued her term. This year, we did not have that issue because the current board chair received 7 of the 12 votes. I still believe that it is an issue, but then what happened with the vice chair, we had a tie. It was a 6-6 vote. And again, so what this bill does is it addresses what happened in last year's election or the 2019 election, but it is amended to also address what had happened in this past December's election, so that we're providing, we're expanding the bill. The amended bill would expand the board by 1 appointed member And that one appointed member would be appointed by our county executive. So that's what the bill is.
Charles, I don't
We do
see
need to
that.
do
I call the bill up. I don't,
Wait a minute, one at a time. Chris and then Senator Kelly.
I'm looking at the bill. I don't see the stuff about appointing a new member
What I can,
on my screen.
I believe my chief of staff emailed that to Evan last night. So I apologize that you all don't have it. Prior to the vote, I'll make certain that you all have
Okay,
it today. It should be in your inboxes today.
okay. Senator
That's what the
Kelly,
amendment does.
It came
did you have
last night.
something to add?
I was going to say that we do need to do something parliamentarily as a change to stop our school board from spending all their time fighting about how to proceed administratively and let them work on the issues that the board needs to have them work on, and that the people of
Well,
Baltimore.
I haven't heard from anyone that, anything that.
Well, we've ended up this past year with a tie and no legislation specifying or regulation anywhere what to do when you had one. And that was a big mess. And you ended up in one case where the person who had one vote less ended up still we just need to, we can see there's mess, and we just need to do something to help them clean it up so they can go ahead and do their job and stop worrying about what their prerogatives are, because that's what's going on.
Okay. Anybody else have anything to add? I
So
have.
just to make it clear,
Since last
Kelly,
year,
you
so-
received the amendment. Did anybody else receive it? I'll make certain that everybody has it.
Okay,
Okay.
okay, thank you. All right, now the other bill, and we'll take that up on the 5th, right?
Okay.
The other bill, Senator West, you want to explain that, and with the school board, with that, it's,
Yeah,
That's a
that arose because of that meeting we had with Superintendent Williams. And I remember I was incredibly frustrated. We couldn't get any of our questions answered. And I know that other members of the delegation felt the same way. So I went back, and through David Marks, he asked the county attorney, does the county council and the county executive have any ability to place any kind of constraints on the county school superintendent, the county school system? And the answer is no. All they can do is give them money. And then once the money goes, they have no control over how the money's spent. They have no control over information that's disseminated. And I said, that just doesn't work. So I hearken back to what we do in the General Assembly, where the governor submits his budget, and the Appropriations Committee in the House and the Budget and Tax Committee in the Senate can fence off money and say, Governor, you can spend this money, but it's subject to the following condition. So my thought was, why don't we give the county executive and the county council the ability to fence off money for the school system and say, Mr. Superintendent, you can spend the money, but if you want to spend this money, you have to give us a report on this ransomware and tell us the following information in the report or whatever. So it would be some way for the county council and the county executive to have some, albeit modest, control over what the school system is doing with the county taxpayers' money. So that's what my bill provides. It provides the county council and county executive the power, if they choose to exercise it, to fence off money for the county school system.
Hey, Chris, can I just say, I mean, I think it's a good idea because it shows at least somewhat transparency to another part. But I think it would be good also, maybe if we could be a small part of that and just see maybe some of that ourselves as legislators, since it is coming from the, the state, we would like to see that also. Could we put amendment in there to saying, that we could see that also?
If I could speak, I would think that maybe it ought to stay with the executive branch in the county, because we really are state legislators. We don't have a responsibility for the actual operation of the school system. And I think we would be encroaching on the powers of the school board and the staff.
Well, I think we need to hear the counties, the county needs to weigh in. That's what I said with this bill. I would have liked to had Chuck come in and weigh in, and actually Superintendent Williams needs to.
Well,
Or
if
whoever
we're talking
was
about
like-
him,
Huh?
I think entities in the county that have appointed power or budget power or oversight power of the school system need to be the one. I don't really think it ought to basically even be us. I think we could take positions on a lot of things, but in terms of how the superintendent is operating, and I personally think he's got a lot of problems, but I think the school board and the county council and the county exec probably are closer to the issue and ought to really have the responsibility for dealing. I think we can make legislative changes to do things like clean up the parliamentary procedure, the thing we were talking about a few minutes ago, so we don't have just feuding and fighting. You need people to go ahead and get the job done.
I mean,
I'm saying it for this
others-
reason because I think it's important that the county and the county executive have the say and see that, but it would hurt just to see, not making movements or be parts of that, but just knowing what's going on. I think the legislature at least could have that part. That's all.
Anybody else?
I-
Anyway,
At the
next week-
moment, nobody has any control at all. So
Exactly.
my bill as currently drafted would merely give to the county council and county executive the power to fence off money
Yep.
for the school system.
Okay.
Moment, that's all
Next
my
week,
bill
I'll
does.
bring Chuck in and Dr. Williams in and give them 2 minutes, and it's not
Yeah,
like they have to drive down here for sure, so.
Well,
Right.
I don't
Maybe
think
even
it's
the county
Dr.
executive
Williams'
would want to do this.
decision. I
Okay.
really think his
Okay.
decision is to take the job that he's agreed to be contracted to do and try to do it.
Okay, I
Couldn't
just
determine
thought,
what
you
the
know, you
structure
have both
is
sides of the
within
story,
his-
but that's okay.
But what about the school board? Should we have, seems like they should have an ability to weigh in here.
Yeah.
Well, we
happy for
created
anybody to
it.
weigh in.
Well, they have the chair, so they could use their chair to be a part of that. And
Well, they've been having problems ever since it's existed as to who has what prerogatives to do what. That's part of it.
exactly.
Well,
So-
but I think that they should have the opportunity, they should be invited to testify on this.
Yes.
And if there's a difference of opinion on the school board, I'd like to know that too.
Yeah.
So Kathy, why don't we, maybe for the next meeting, we should reach out to the head of the school board at least, as well as certainly to Chuck. He may want to get the county executive to join us and express his opinion on this.
Yeah,
The
because,
county
I mean, they
drives to
know,
Annapolis.
they
He
know
just
their
has to
deal.
get on
so.
on the TV set.
Okay, so that'll be on the agenda for next week. Charles will look at your bill next week if you have a witness or somebody, or if you just want to send in your papers. And
Okay.
that just about does it.
I don't know if I'll probably have a bill for next week as well.
Okay, so can you just, send it over to Evan, and if do you have people that want to testify, you want?
Shelley, what about the hemp bill?
I don't have it back yet.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, so this is last year, you may know, we introduced a bill to put limitations on where and how hemp can be grown in the state as a result of some issues in our district. This year, we're going to make it a local bill, just applying it to Baltimore County. Unfortunately, my House colleague introduced it as a statewide bill, so it will have to be amended. So that's what we're dealing with now.
Okay. Well, then we have.
Just so I'm
all the-
clear, Madam Chair,
Yes,
this week, did we agree we were doing 8:30 or 9? Because I think several people said you had 9.
8:30.
8:30.
Okay, all right, just want to be sure.
8:30 on the 5th.
Or we could do it like at 7 a.m. and then we have plenty.
Clarence, you may not have been with
Can I
us.
bring my pillow?
Next meeting is a week from Friday at 8:30.
Okay. And then I have to work it out with Chuck and the county executive, because he's got like four or five different bills that he wants. So. Okay. Any other questions or anything at this point?
If I can, Chair, Senator
Yes.
Kleinmeyer, I have opportunity, and I wanted to speak to you about it. I wanted to just get with you maybe later on today if you have time.
Okay.
Okay?
And Dolores, if I could, maybe on Monday, could I give you a call for 5 minutes?
Sure.
Okay, thanks.
Do I have a motion for adjournment?
Motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Have a lovely day, everyone.
Bye.
And
Okay, you too.
for the record, we're going to do some good stuff with unemployment.